Well, I am very, very happy to be here to talk about this, stepping into the light and walking into the light. Very important. We all do it. Well, we're always constantly in the light, but there is more of an intention of doing that and being that in that experience, and that's a now moment experience. I am really good in it about a half a dozen of my character roles, and I'm really going to work on just being me this year because I have a trouble with being. Anybody have a trouble with just being themselves? Yeah, it's not just me then, eh? And then Anthony sent me a thing. University of Calgary, it's some big grades. They have now got proof that we emit light. And that when we die, the light leaves our body. Hey, Anthony? Isn't that neat? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's really nice to see science catching up to us, isn't it? Right? And that happens, and the light's there, folks. It's just a matter of we don't let our light shine. So today's really about getting into some ideas. I'm not talking about all the great gurus that did. I'm going to just tell you how it happened for me. And why, if I think I can share that with you, is today's a very special day for me. It's not my birthday. It's even more important than that. It's my birthday today. So 46 years ago today, on the second Sunday of January in 1980, I walked into the Center for Spiritual Living and began my spiritual journey. Boom, like that. So it's kind of a celebration for me today. Thank you, thank you. And I made it. So what gets us there? You know, the unity affirmation is I live in the light of spirit, guided and inspired in all that I do. True, Doug's affirmation. I am divinely guided, led, directed, and inspired at all times and in all situations, and I recognize and act upon the messages of spirit. If you don't do that, the rest of it is just garbage, just words. You got to act on it, right? And so, what's my key idea of stepping to light? Number one, start every day and lead your day with gratitude. There's always something to be grateful about. When things are going now, I stop and I say, well, what can I be grateful about today? And start checking. And it shifts it. Gets you away from the stinking thinking back to where you need to go. And so I'm not starting my day today. I'm going to start my year today. In fact, I'm going to start the rest of my life today with gratitude. And I'm going to lead off by a statement written by a lady called Edith Wharton. There are two ways of spreading the light. Be the candle or be the mirror that reflects it. So I ended this year with Anna at a spiritual service, which was the candlelight, my last one of the year. We got here late, Santa and Mrs. Claus, and it was nice. And this is my first experience of the year, and it's with unity. So I want to tell you, I'm starting my year being eternally grateful to the unity. And I'm a member of the CSL. I have been since day one. And I'm also a member of Unity, two different spiritual communities, and they serve each other in a lot of different ways. Velda and Neil are from the CSL, and they're, wonderful people, you know. And so how Unity has served me is I'll cut the detail for the beginning and get right down to when it went to this type of format of leadership. And I was just recovering from my burnout, and I met at Anna. We moved in, and I was working with Reverend Nadine Rogers in the Joy of Life. I was the associate minister for 12 and a half years. And when I started with Unity, first thing they did was I didn't have anything to get going, so I did 2 Sundays a month for a year. And it was Sidney Cashmere from the center did that. We got that going like that. And then back to one Sunday a month. And it's been like that, pretty much ever since. Except for when Katie, there was a shift in the leadership, major. And Katie and Susan took over, and everybody else that was here might have been there when that happened. They'd been there. And it was really hard for me because I was going through a severe physical thing, and I was basically dying, and I couldn't guest speak for a year at that time. So I really had to talk to Katie and Susan that I needed not to do it for a year because it had nothing to do with the change, it was me. And then after that was over, I came back, and it's been 12 years again since then. So why am I grateful to be able to do this? As a warrior, a spiritual warrior is what I am, and going after all the time and learning and that, it's useless if you don't have someone to share it with. And I've been able to have that with Unity on an intimate basis of sharing my experience and learning over the years, more so than with any other spiritual group on the planet. Okay? No kidding. So you people know more about the learning and the way I did it than anybody does, whether you know it or not. And you don't know how internally grateful I am for that. Because there's nothing better for a person to have that than to take it from knowledge and put it into form. And there is nothing greater for a person to be able to come to understand their true talents and gifts and have a platform on which to express it. So, you know, from my background, I liked getting high in the old days, right? I still like getting high. I love it. In fact, I'm kind of addicted to it. And I can't get any higher, I haven't found a way, than what I'm doing right now. A lot of people call it terror. I get high from it. I guess maybe I'm just a bit different, okay? So gratitude is a way to start it all off. You can't step into the light until you're grateful for the way it is. No matter what else is going on, there's always something to be grateful for. Sometimes you got to look hard, but it's there. The next thing there, that's what Edith Wharton said. Now, the next thing is acknowledge and develop your gift and your talent. You have a gift that's greater than anything else you could do. Might not be better than anybody else or nothing like that. Who cares? It's your gift. It belongs to you. It resonates. It brings you peace, happiness when you're doing it. So you need to say that this is very special instead of putting it down and find more ways to do it. My gift is doing this. I do it. I just finished my Santa season. And you know, I get paid very well. However, I cannot begin to tell you what it's like with those little people and working with them, and they are so sweet and so honest. I don't say they always say nice things, but they are honest, and I love honesty. I love honesty. I don't care what they say to me. It might put me down. I don't care. At least they're honest about it, eh? People say, do you have problems with the kids? 12 years, 50,000, one. Let's don't talk about the parents and the families and the adults. So I don't want to go there. You don't have enough time to listen to it all, and you don't want to. But the children, and then the families and bringing them in, it's unbelievable what I get. And I was going there a couple of times. I'm going, I got to take a minute break. I'm getting paid for this. You know, it's like that. Wouldn't you like to have a job like that? Or like this? Or like the other things I do? I'll tell you about the rest of it's going pretty quick like here. Huh? Well, you already have it. You have it. You just don't believe it. And when you begin to believe it and look for it, you'll find ways to express it. Those ways will bring you. I consider myself to be extremely wealthy. I don't own a house. I got a couple of vehicles and nothing else. But I'm the wealthiest man in the world, in my opinion, for what I've been able to experience and have in life. So it's not measured in that. It's measured in this. You already have that. Look for it and express it. That's stepping into and walking in the light. Don't let anybody else tell you you're crazy, because they're gonna. Do you know how many people told me I was crazy and nuts? They still do. In fact, they did before I got into this. They were probably right then, but this is a different story. So you've got to acknowledge it. Terry Larkin said, take it on. You can do it. Love yourself. You are an amazing creation of God. Light energy is infinite. It never ends. You are infinite as well. We are a lasting image for all eternity, wrapped in unconditional love. So take your gift and talent, find ways to express it. I started out for free, and now people pay me. You know, they tell you that happens. I didn't believe it, but it does. It does, folks. And it doesn't pay you just in coin. The way you get paid is in spiritual and mental coin. Far more valuable than money. You can always get money. Believe it. Next idea. So what do? You establish the idea in consciousness, and then you simply, with trust and faith, step into the energy and experience that you've established. It's all energy. We all know that. So when you establish it with prayer, visioning, treatment, whatever you want to call it, you see it, feel it, and there before you go, like I do every Sunday I come here, and then people say, well, how do you do? Well, it's easy. It's already there. I just step into the consciousness and allow Spirit to take over through me, by means of me, in my own unique way. Okay? And that is the way it happens. And it's not just me, it's everybody can do that. And you get into some really tacky situations, and it works really well. I can remember, give you one example of a panel interview I went to. 7 people, 1 man there, 3 on each side. Well, the nature of the interview was I had a pardon for a criminal charge I got. Then I got another one. And what they do is they take that one and anything else you got and plop, you're right there fully present again. So I applied for a pardon for both of them. And I had to go and appear before the National Parole Board. And you know who they are. If you don't know who they are the ones that deal with all the, you know what I mean? So I prepared it in consciousness, right there. Went there, knew what I wanted to do, and knew who I was, and knew what the thing I was and had become. And I was confident in myself, and I went in there, sat down. Those 3 people on each side never said a word. They watched my every move. Body language. Experts. The man down there was the head. He drilled me. And then we were finished. This guy's good. He did one of my favorites. He did a Columbo on me. Watch Columbo if you don't know. And again, oh, Mr. Craig, that's very impressive. And well, it looks really good. And yeah, and I think we're going to, oh, by the way, it would appear that when you got your first parole, you were lying to us. And I said, well, yes, that's correct. However, this is genuine, and I could really honestly substantiate anything I've said here if you'd like. Bang! Pardon. Just like that. I'm just telling you that as one example of some of the stuff I've done. There's lots of them, but when you go with intention and you're clear and you don't bring any negative energy in there, things like that happen. Then you've got to walk in the light of faith and step out of the darkness of fear. Helen Keller said, faith is the strength by which a shattered world shall emerge into light. And Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So, if we don't want that inside of ourselves, we got to let the light shine and drive out our own darkness, and we got to let love shine and drive out that own dislike for ourselves. That's the problem, you know. You get by yourself, you're going to be okay. It's getting by yourself that's the issue. So those are all really good steps to get there. And this idea of faith and fear, fear knocked at the door, faith answered, there was no one there. Everything you're doing at every time, at every moment of the day defines whether you're walking in faith or you're walking in fear. Okay? It's all a mental thing. And anytime you're on the affirmative, even a bit, you're beginning to walk in faith and walk in the light. And the more you get here and understand it, the more it works. I'm on some ambitious projects right now, and I don't know what the hell the next step is. I know what I got to get done, but instead of trying to figure it out and plan, I just put it there, and the most interesting thing is happening is little tendrils of information are coming to take me and guide me where I am. Now, I want to share how I started this year. Oh, you say it's only the 11th? The first week. So I had put in consciousness over time that on my bucket list, I wanted to have a small role in a major movie, a bit movie, right? So you never know how that's going, and I got busy with my other stuff, had to let that go, and I got recruited by a casting lady in December to appear. It's just a small flick, 7, 8, 9 minutes, but there's a couple, they meet and they're in love. Then I'm the next major character. They got some, stand-ins and that. So they recruited me and interviewed me, the producer, director, and Monday morning at 6 o'clock and Tuesday I was on the set this last week. It was cold Monday, it was outside. Woo! And so I'm the part of, it's Christmas in Kensington on the 5th, and they're doing it in the morning because they can't do the night because there's too much stuff, so that's got to be dark. And so I'm doing Santa, and my roles are jingle, jingle, ho, ho, ho. And my other role is Clarence. Now, Santa's kind of a character, wants a little something to do, so he subs as the proprietor and projector of the Plaza Theater. So I'm out there the next day doing the ladder and the marquee, and I'm in there. Lights go out, and I'm doing my lines in the projection booth, and then Santa's serving hot chocolate, all of that. What a gas! What a gas! Oh, jeez. And then Wednesday, I did some really neat healthy stuff for myself, too. Even better than that. God, was I high. And then, this is it. Thursday and Friday, I had the funds. I got everything arranged. And I got the last part, the filming done of my documentary. 4 interviews on Thursday, myself. And one of the key factors in there, I had person interview, is my ex-wife. How many people got courage to do that? Try that on for size. Okay? And then Friday was a family day. I had my daughter, and I have about one biological daughter and one biological grandson and one biological great-granddaughter. So my daughter and my grandson and my number one boy, my stepson, were there to be interviewed. And then at the end, we did a bunch of scenes with the 4 generations, okay? And I want to tell you what this documentary is about. It's about my life, my journey. It'll be about an hour. And it's a story of hope and inspiration. One man's journey. And it's titled From the Outhouse to the Penthouse. I don't want to describe the penthouse, folks. It's not money. It's not wealth. It's got nothing to do with anything outside there in assets, okay? It's got to do with that scene that I filmed with my daughter, grandson, and my great-granddaughter, and me being just about 77. Okay? That's the penthouse. The outhouse was in the summer of 1972, my first drug addiction, and I had deteriorated to the point where I was mainlining crystal meth with needles. And the day come that I was going to kill myself because I'd had enough. And something happened to me. The voice said, "Your mother loves you," and I didn't do it. That is the penthouse of my life, or the outhouse. Okay? So do you understand what I'm trying to do here with that documentary? The outhouse to the penthouse. It's not about money or anything. So I'll leave you with that thought, and I'm going to close with a recipe for a Happy New Year. I take 12 fine, full-grown months, select only those which are thoroughly free from all old memories of bitterness, rancor, hate, and jealousy. Clean them completely, free from every clinging spite. Pick off all spectacles of pettiness and littleness. In short, see that each one of these months is free from the past so that they are as fresh and clean as when they first came from the great storehouse of life. Next, cut these months into 31 equal parts. They will keep for only 1 year, so do not attempt to make up the whole batch at one time. Far too many people do that and spoil the entire lot this way. Rather, but prepare 1 day at a time. And into each day, put 12 parts of faith, 11 parts of patience, 10 parts of courage, 9 of work. Some people omit this ingredient and spoil the flavor of the rest. 8 of hope, 7 of fidelity, 6 of liberality, 5 of kindness, 4 of prayer, 3 of meditation, 2 of meditation, 3 of prayer, I missed one, and 1 part only of a well-selected resolution. Now, for spice and sweetening, according to our scruples, add about a teaspoon of good spirits and a dash of fun, a pinch of folly and a sprinkling of play, and a heaping cup of good humor. Now, pour love and ad libitum into the whole and mix with vim and vigor. Cook thoroughly in a fervent heart. Garnish with a few smiles, a sprig of joy. Then be sure to serve with quietness, unselfishness, and cheerfulness. And a happy year is certainly. Remember, with a smile and a prayer, 12 new wonderful, glorious months have been issued in your name to do with as you wish. Father Time has assigned your note so that you have been issued a credit card for the whole year. If you make a mistake, be sure you don't make the same one over again. Laugh at difficulties and they will soon vanish. Attempt heavier responsibilities and you will find them growing lighter. Face a bad situation and it will clear up. Oh, this is a good one. Tell the truth and find an easier way out. Do an honest-to-goodness day's work every day and reap the rewards. Believe people are honest, and you will find them living up to your expectations. Trust in God each day, and it will surprise you with its goodness. I know it to be so, and so it is, and thank you. Thank you.